Hey everyone, Mark Hessman here in the newsroom, and the Chicago Bears schedule is out, and I'm going to give you my quick thoughts on it here. The Bears, listen, this schedule is going to be a really tightrope to walk if the Bears want to find themselves to 10, 11 wins and make it to the NFL playoffs. My early thoughts on the schedule, just looking at it, I wrote a couple notes down here. The early bye sucks. Week 5 bye is never good. You want that bye closer towards Thanksgiving, especially if you're making a run to get healthy later in the season. They're just going to have to be really, really good off of that bye. And the bye will come at a time where they're going to have 3 of 4 really tough games. Post-bye, they're at Washington for Monday Night Football. Obviously, a ton of interest with that, Caleb versus Jaden Daniels. And then you have a really winnable game against the Saints at home. And then in Week 8 and Week 9, 2 brutal games on the road against AFC North, Ravens, and Bengals. So if you can use that bye to regroup after a good start, which the Bears should get off to a good start, I predict a 3-1 start. You have the Vikings on Monday Night Football. You should beat the Vikings. You lose maybe to the Lions in Detroit. Emotional return for Ben Johnson. Then you have the Dallas Cowboys in Chicago. That's got to be a winnable game. Go to the Raiders in Vegas, win that game. You're a better team than then. You're 3-1. You have an early bye. And then off of that bye, can you find a way to go 2-2 in that stretch against Washington, New Orleans, the Ravens, and the Bengals? If they could do that, that would be huge. They then had another kind of like a little sweet stretch for the Bears there in the middle of the season, week 10, 11, and 12. Home against the Giants, really winnable game. At Minnesota, winnable game. Home against the Steelers, winnable game. So you come off of that tough stretch, and maybe you can win 3 in a row there in the middle of the season. Then it gets really ugly down the stretch. Listen to this final stretch of games, week 13 on for the Bears. You're at the Eagles, primetime, the defending Super Bowl champs. That's a tough game. You're at the Packers after that. That's a tough game. Home against Cleveland, that's your winnable game in this slot. You got to find a way to win that game. And then home against the Packers, at the 49ers, and then home against the Lions to wrap up the season. It's a really tough schedule. You're going to have to wind through this thing. 5 primetime games. I call primetime like standalone games for the Bears. So they're going to be in the nation's eye a lot. 11 of the 17 games for the Bears are against playoff teams from last year. Again, it just goes to show how tough this schedule is. Here's my little roadmap to make the playoffs, right? Bears fans, if you want to go and talk with other people today at the office and say, how can the Bears make the playoffs? I'll give you the how. Sweep Minnesota, okay? That's step 1. Split the Lions and the Packers. You have to find a way to go 4-2 in division. So you find that. So you win your home games against the Lions, home game against the Packers, sweep Minnesota, you're 4-2 in those games. That's a great start. Then you have to win 3 of 4 against the AFC North. You play the AFC North. Can you steal one against the Bengals, lose to the Ravens, and then beat the Steelers and Browns? You're better than the Steelers and Browns, so can you make that happen? If you find yourself 4-2 against the division and then 3-1 against the AFC North, you're in a really, really good spot, because then all you have to do is win 3 of these 6, 7 games against the Niners, the Eagles, the Giants, the Saints, Washington, Dallas, and the Raiders. There's 3 winnable games in there. I think it's very possible the Bears can get to 10, 11 wins if you do that. 4-2 in division, 3-1 against the AFC North. Let's say they go 2-2 against the AFC North. You're still at 6-3, and then you got to find a way to win 4 games. I think you can beat the Giants, the Saints. I think you can beat Dallas and the Raiders, and then you have toss-up games against the Niners and Washington. And then, obviously, a game that you could steal against Philadelphia. 10, 11 wins is very plausible for the Chicago Bears team. Early bye is tough. Really tough stretch after the bye. Winnable games there, weeks 10, 11, and 12. Can't wait for football to start. And it's going to be hard waiting all the way from Monday Night Football week 1 to wait to watch the Bears kick off their season. You want to talk Bears football with me? Reach out to me on Twitter, at Mark Hessman, on Facebook as well, MarkHespen. Find me there on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Let's chat Bears all day, all night, every day. You know what I mean. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to watch more videos from News Channel 20.